last video for the first week of online school. Yay. All right. By the end of today, we are going to be able to compare and contrast the 3 different types of symbiotic relationships between organisms. We're going to be able to provide an example of mutualism, parasitism, and commensalism, which are our 3 different symbiotic relationships we're going to be looking at. And then we want you to watch this video on YouTube of the Amoeba Sisters, and you're going to email us 3 things new that you learned. Okay, so your to-do list today is pretty short. Write your notes in your interactive notebook, watch the YouTube video of us, which you should be doing right now, and then answer the questions right here. Okay, so notes are pretty short today, and it's pretty simple. But we have 3 symbiotic relationships that we're going to talk about. And a symbiotic relationship is simply the relationship that occurs between 2 organisms who live in the same environment. Okay, so.
And they do not have to be the same organism.
Yes.
It can be like a deer and a tick, or it could be a shark and the remora type fish that live on the shark. So it doesn't have to be the same species of animals.
Yeah, and usually it's not. Like usually they're different ones, and it's kind of cool to see them, you know, when they get along and stuff. We'll talk about that a little more. So the first one we talked about yesterday, we'll talk about again because it is one of the symbiotic relationships, parasitism, and that is just a parasite. So a flea, a tick, tapeworm, heartworms. And remember that a parasite has to have a host. So if I'm a tick, I have to have a host where I can literally suck their blood to get my food and nutrients from. Now, if I'm the tick, it's great for me because I'm getting nutrients, I'm getting everything I need, but it's really bad for the host because there's a parasite on them and it's sucking their nutrients away from them, and that is not good. So they suffer, the host suffers, and the one organism does well. So that is a parasitic relationship when one suffers and the other one benefits. Okay.
Then you have mutualism, and this is when both organisms benefit. So it's like I scratch your back and you're going to scratch my back, and we both benefit.
It's mutual,
great,
mutual relationship.
So examples is like termites that eat wood, and the bacteria live. Okay, so hold on. So there's bacteria that can digest wood. The bacteria live in the termite's stomach, and the termites eat the wood. The bacteria that live in the stomach help digest the wood that the termites eat, which is crazy. So they're both helping each other out. The termite gets full, and then also the bacteria gets its nutrients from the wood that it breaks down. So they're both benefiting.
Yep. And another really awesome example, and I saw this in Yellowstone. This is the first time I had ever seen it, you know, in real life. There were buffalo everywhere. They're beautiful. And on top of the buffalo, you'd oftentimes would see birds sitting on their backs. And so the buffalo would be grazing, and then the birds just chilling on the back of the buffalo, which was really beautiful because you have this huge beast and then this tiny little organism, but they're, you know, moving throughout and roaming, and it was very peaceful and beautiful. But the bird is literally eating parasites off of the buffalo. So if there's ticks on them or whatever insects, stuff that is living on the buffalo, it's eating that. So number 1, the bird is benefiting because it's getting its food source, and number 2, the buffalo is also benefiting because the parasite's getting removed from their body. So both organisms there are benefiting. Okay, and then the last one, it's on your next notes page, but I'll go ahead and just write it right here because I didn't put that up.
Commensalism.
Yep, commensalism.
This is when one organism benefits and the other organism is not harmed, but it's not benefited either. Like in parasitism, the host is harmed. But in commensalism, it's like, hey, I'm going to help you out, but I don't need anything in return. We're just good, I'm doing you a favor type thing.
Yep. So commensalism, one organism is chilling and it's not being harmed, it's not being benefited, but the other organism is being benefited. So very simple definitions, terms. What I would like you guys to do at the end of this video, you're going to watch the YouTube video that we have posted, and I want you to tell us 3 facts that you've learned, and I want you to be able to tell us a type of parasitism, like an example of mutualism, and remember my favorite's my buffalo, my bird from Yellowstone, and a commensalism example, all right? And just shoot those to us in an email. We hope y'all are doing good.
We love hearing from y'all.
Yeah,
we love the
do.
emails and texts and the class dojos and stuff. So we really love hearing from y'all because we do miss y'all.
Yep. Believe it or not, we'd rather be here and y'all giving us a hard time than having to do this. But we hope y'all are good. If y'all need anything, let us know. And other than that, we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend. Don't go out and about. Stay home.